What's happening, everybody? It's Anthony from the Daily Truth, the truth, and I don't like the way it's covering my face. The truth in 5 minutes or less. Go ahead and like this video, share this video, do all the things with this video. Reminder, while you guys are jumping in and liking and sharing and commenting, I don't have the comments up, put the comments up. Tonight is Wednesday. Wednesday is the night if you're watching it a different day, you can still register for next Wednesday. It is the speaking class, the workshop that I do. It is free. It is live. It is at 6 p.m. this evening, at Central Time. Go to doubledownspeaking.com. Thanks, Casey. Go to doubledownspeaking.com and register. And yeah, it's free. It's an hour. It's like Toastmasters on steroids. So while you guys are pumping the algorithm, liking it, sharing it, commenting, I see you, Casey. I see you, Dawn. I see people jumping in. David, what's happening? Let's get to this one. This is something, there was a story shared where a woman was saying, my one dream is that I could actually, I want to actually listen to it one more time. Well, let me make sure I'm saying it correctly. The one thing I wish is that I had a brain that allowed me to be happy to be alive. And it's interesting. We go about our daily lives. People with depression, people without depression have so much trouble understanding other people. And I'm frozen. There we go. People have so much. I'm going to go ahead and shift out of the Wi-Fi and onto the corded. That should help. Okay, because I keep seeing the sticking and I don't like it. All right, what's going on, Free? I see you as well. Rose, what's happening? All right, let me get into it now. We deal with we each deal with things differently, and some of us don't understand those that go through depression. I am one of those. I have a brain that sees things differently. I always, even when I get angry and when I get upset, I still see a positive. Even when I get frustrated or annoyed, I still see a positive. I still see the bigger picture. When I at one point in my life was 6 figures in debt, business debt, I still see the positive. And it's incredibly difficult, but I don't understand the other side. I don't see it. Yet there's people that wake up every day that are in debt $1,000 or even in debt $50,000 or going through struggles in life, and they can't compute it as well as others. And as much as I'm a tough love kind of person and trying to tell people, buck up, you can do things and all these different stuff, I understand that everybody's brain is wired differently. And I had this kind of moment yesterday while watching that video where I start to think to myself, like, I wish that person could be inside of my eyes and inside of my brain for just one day. And I wish I could be inside of their brain. As painful as it probably is, I'd like to be inside their brain for one day to see how scientifically and strategically you could try to find a way to get out of it. As somebody that is a believer in God, I think ultimately that's probably the place to turn when you're going through things like this. I think that somebody recommended, and I haven't gone through it all, but really going through the book of Job and seeing that there is an end game, there is a solution at the end of it. With the help of God, you get to a place where finances are no longer an issue and where the things and the blessings that you're looking for in life are no longer an issue. But ultimately, it's this really difficult concept that we have so much trouble with empathy for other people. I'm in a different argument in my messages regarding the fact that if you look at it from a government perspective, it's like one side feels one way and the other side feels the other way. And ultimately, one side doesn't feel that it's a funny thing to talk about because you're not being empathetic to the fact that I've seen what's happened to my career, my friends for believing one way. And it's like, you have to get inside of the brain of the other person in any conversation, whether it's political, whether it's financial, whether it's depression, non-depression, whether it's like if they're on adult on the spectrum. Like, I found out an old friend of mine, made this very powerful post about how, this is somebody that I knew growing up, that they've diagnosed her as being on the autistic spectrum as an adult. And I think more people than we recognize are on that as well, which leads to the inability to deal with the daily struggles of life. So I think there's some fascinating things that can be taken from this one person's video that I watched that says, I wish just one day, I just wish that I could be happy to be here. And these are people, when things are going well, it's fleeting for that brain, the brain that sees things from the light of depression. So there's no major fix, I guess, that I'm giving you on this video. I'm just providing the truth that everybody's different, which means we need to give each other time and patience. And there is a moment for tough love. I'm a big believer in that. And there is a moment where you have to tell yourself and you have to tell others, like, all right, There's nothing else can be done but just getting shit done. Like, you have to figure that out. You have to figure out that middle ground. And it's so delicate to walk that line. And you have to say push through, but at the same time, you have to understand why they're not pushing through. So the human brain, with the assistance of this terrible yet great invention called social media and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all these glorious lives. And I've talked about that on a Daily Truth before, that we compare ourselves to that and we think that everybody is perfect and nobody's going through struggle except for the people that share it. And then we almost deem them, it almost looks fake because they're setting up a camera to cry. And it's just weird. Just drop all that. What are you going through on your own life? The people that you meet, the people that you have a direct interaction with, not on the walls of Facebook, but maybe on the direct messages. What are they going through that you don't see? And what are you going through that they might not see? Share stuff like that. Share the interpersonal connection, and then start to realize that you can't your brain doesn't work the way other people's brain does. So you have to give yourself a little patience, but you also have to be willing to give yourself tough love. And then likewise, when somebody says something to you that hurts, say that you are somebody that deals with depression on a higher level, and they go and you just feel that, well, they don't understand my brain. Understand, they don't. They really don't. Not many people are going to try to do their best, not because they're assholes, just because it's difficult to compute. Not many people are going to really get in the thought process in the brain of the other person and figure out why they think a certain way and why you think a certain way. So understand, when somebody just is very basic to you and says, "Well, get through it," or "buck up," or "it's not that bad." Don't be hurt by it. Understand, to them in their brain, they can't see it the same way. They don't see depression. They don't see pain in the same light. So the truth is, not all of us see things in a positive way, and not all of us see things in a negative way. But ultimately, if we can find a way to understand that we're all different, and understand that our brain works different, and give ourselves a little bit of patience, whether it's the patience of telling somebody, giving somebody tough love, or somebody that needs to give said tough love or understanding. Open your mind to the fact that we don't understand each other as human beings. It's been exacerbated by social media. It's been exacerbated by this weird high paced life that we live. It's been exacerbated by the political cycle. It's been exacerbated by all of these different daily things that we go through. And ultimately, some people literally just want to be able to wake up in the morning and be happy to be alive. And for those that don't battle that, that's a very difficult thing to understand. So realize that understanding each other is hard. Understanding each other is difficult, and it takes work, and it also takes a little bit of patience in today's high-paced world. That's my message for today. I see a lot of comments that came in while I was doing that. Thank you guys. Let's see. No, I love it. Free. I appreciate you. Hi, Dawn. Thanks for that message. Casey, one hundo. Scott Adams talks about reframing your brain. I should check that out. Interesting. But I'm blessed. I have the brain that functions in a way like I can't see that. I can't see the bad suicidal ugly side. I don't see that. So I get frustrated, I get annoyed, I get angry, but I don't see that side. God bless. Remember, tonight, free speaking webinar, free speaking workshop. I don't like webinar. It sounds boring. This is a workshop. It's interactive. It's fun. Join me tonight at doubledownspeaking.com. You register. It's free. Yes. Noel, it is like, if you've ever heard of Toastmasters, it's like Toastmasters on steroids. It's about 30 minutes of interactive where I give quotes and people do them when we listen, and I give critiques and things that help your brain work and do different stuff. And then I give some tips and tricks. Last week, I never really even got to heavy tips and tricks that were outside of just the conversational, but most of the time I give I break down a little bit of speaking, but we took a full hour on just really getting into the technique of speaking. And I kind of gave the tips as we went along. It's a lot of fun. Cameras are on. Noel, I would love for you to join. Again, it's doubledownspeaking.com. Go ahead and register on there. It's fun. Trust me. Everybody that comes has a great time. We have a blast. So join me there. And that's when my brain actually functions the best. Thanks, Casey. All right. Take it easy, guys. Hopefully I'll see you, Noel. And again, if you can't make it this week, we do it every week. Somebody else already registered for next week. And then we have a lot of the people that go, you keep coming back. It's like a fun community. And that's a great way to end. We're lucky to be born really truly at the best. It's much as we complain about social media, we are born in the most advanced, fun, I would actually still say free time in history, freest time in history. Like the most, we have the most ability to do these cool things, but we have our brain has just been functioned differently. 6 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, it's a weird world. Weird world. Don't surrender your pets. Don't be a garbage human being. God bless.